So you want to join a fraternity and you're not exactly sure where to start. Now you're on a YouTube channel seeking advice for Rush Dinner. Not exactly the best place to be. My name's Clark Cunningham and I was a Rush chairman for 3 years. I'm going to tell you 5 things you need to know before entering the fraternity recruitment process to help you rush confidently. The very first thing you want to do before you submit your application to IFC or the fraternity or whoever's collecting these applications, you're going to want to set your social media profiles to private. The very first thing recruitment chairmen do when they receive your application, they Google your name. They look for you on Facebook, they look for you on Twitter, they check your Instagram, everything. And just like anybody else, they're going through and they're judging your pictures. They're looking, they're trying to understand who you are, and they're trying to decide if it's worth their time to reach out and contact you. By setting your social media profiles to private, you eliminate any chance that they could stumble back on something from 3 years ago, super embarrassing photo, something that's not exactly who you are today. You want to keep this stuff in the closet where it belongs and present and put your best foot forward. So you got your social media profiles on private now, but I can still see your profile picture and I can still read your bio. So let's talk about a couple things that can help put you in a better position when I, a Rush chairman, goes and looks at your profile. The profile photo. Let's start with the don'ts. Not a big fan of the shirtless selfies, or selfies in general for that matter. Let's get away with the car photos, let's get away with the anime photos. It's just gotta be a clean professional shot of you. Maybe you hanging out with some friends, you with your family. Now let's talk about your profile biography. You wanna keep it clean and you wanna keep it simple. For example, Clark Cunningham, incoming class of 2017, Blue Mountain State. This puts you at the spot where you didn't immediately throw up a red flag to a Rush chair. I didn't go on your profile and see all these crazy conspiracy theories being shared, you talking about aliens, something like that. I can't see any of that now. You didn't eliminate yourself from the competition. You didn't necessarily put yourself ahead of it, but you're at a better position when they reach out and talk to you, and now you control the conversation. Number 2, as with any type of sale, the person who knows more always wins. Do your research. There's a wealth of knowledge online. The fraternity's GPAs are all listed online. The university's average GPA is all listed online. These are numbers you're going to want to know before you walk into a dinner and so you can assess where this fraternity is coming from. If the campus average is 3.1, the fraternity average is 3.3, what are you going to look for in a fraternity that walks up to you if they have a 2.7? What about the fraternity that comes up with a 3.8? While these aren't all telling indicators, these are things that can certainly help you identify what this house puts their primary focus on and where else they might distribute their assets. Every single university is going to have a little bit different of a recruitment process. I've seen campuses that rush in the summer, I've seen campuses that rush in the fall, I've seen campuses that rush in the spring, I've seen campuses that do all 3, I've seen campuses that only do 1 exclusively. You need to know this process so you can research your deadlines and understand when you need to submit your application, when you need to sign your bid card by. It's best to have this knowledge going into it so you don't get stuck and get screwed and get stuck waiting around another year. Which brings me to my next topic. Submit your application as early as possible. The applications that get in early get the most views, higher exposure, and more reach, which means more Rush chairmen are more likely to reach out to you, giving you a better chance to join a house that you fit in and you're gonna love. Submit your application as early as possible. The applications that get in earliest get a lot more exposure. The Rush chairs are more likely to see this application. All of them are gonna see it at the beginning when they have a lot more room and more quota to meet, and they're more likely to reach out to you. Then you get, reached out 10, 15, 20 houses are talking to you all at once and it becomes a turkey shoot for you. Where do you want to go? Submitting your application early is one thing I noticed in my 3 years as a Rush chair that really improved someone's chance to join a house. I've seen kids, excellent kids, 5-star recruits, kids I would have loved to have in my house, submit an application way too late and we had already filled up. Don't be that guy. Submit it as early as possible and secure your chance to join a fraternity. Now that you have your application in, it's time to do some networking. Talk to your parents, talk to your parents' coworkers, talk to your coworkers, talk to your boss. Find out who you know that was in the Greek system. There's a chance they were a member of that fraternity at that college, or a member of that fraternity at a different college. Regardless, it always helps to have someone who is part of the same fraternity reach out to the Rush chairman and contact them and tell them about you. Several of the best recruits I've ever signed came to me from an alumni referral. And if that alumni hadn't reached out to me, I probably would have never stumbled upon their application. The kids who reach out, talk to alumni, network, and find out who they know in the fraternity have an exponentially higher chance of getting into the fraternity than other people. Simple. Early application, exposure. Contacting alumni, exposure. The more exposure you get, the higher chance you have of joining fraternity. A lot of kids are rushing and there's sometimes not a lot of spots. Last and probably most importantly, don't go in and try and be someone else. Be you, have fun. This is a great 4 years and fraternity can certainly help you with that, but don't try and shift yourself into someone else because you think that's what the fraternity wants. The best fraternity for you is the one that makes you feel right at home the second you walk in the door. I've rushed over 200 kids one-on-one. I've consulted with fraternities across the nation. I've been a Rush chair. I know what a Rush chairman wants to hear, and I can help you go into the Rush process confident and ready to sell yourself. Check out my other videos, leave comments. I'd love to hear your feedback. Check out my webpage, fratrush101.com. Try to get back to as many of you as possible. Thanks for watching.